And you would think, well, why don't you just wait for them to finish growing before you start teaching? Well, the problem is, you've seen me do quite a few videos on this horse. This is Indy. We actually show her in ranch riding and working cow horse, and we've been working her to drag a log and throw a rope so she can do ranch trail. One of the things recently, she has grown a lot. She was always a pretty long-legged horse, pretty big horse, but recently she has grown a lot. I can feel that her back end is taller than her front end. That has set her balance onto her front end. Because she's grown in the back end and her back end is higher than her front end, that's kind of putting her onto her front end, which makes certain maneuvers a lot harder for her to do. You notice that a lot of the training that I do involves picking up the front end and shifting them onto their back end. Well, when they're growing and the back end is taller, that's extra hard to do. But even while she's leveling out, I can't just let whatever movement she comes up with, I can't just let that go. Because in the end, she will end up losing her training. And as her body grows, she's going to end up figuring something out to do with her legs, because they got longer, she's a little uncoordinated, and has to figure out how to get them back going again. So what I've been doing with her in the meantime, as far as helping her spin and everything, is trying to help the fundamentals, help the mechanics stay correct, so that as her front end grows and she evens out, the mechanics are still there. So what I want to do with that, let's just ask her to steer around and go forward. See how she's still thinking that way? That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. When I ask her to steer, I want her thinking going that direction. It's exactly what I want. I don't want her thinking go leave if I'm trying to steer to the left. So I want to keep encouraging that thinking that direction, and I want to keep encouraging a correct footfall. So she steps to the right, steps to the right. I want to keep her head looking to the right. Here she's kind of wanting to bring her nose to the outside a little bit. Bring it in, keep her forward, keep her going in this circle. Forward. Nose in, forward. Nose in, forward, forward, and leave. I have to keep reassuring that correct placement, that correct body position, so that when her body evens out, that's what's natural to her. Right now, because she's lower in the front end, that all feels weird. Kind of like when a teenage kid grows, they get awkward. If a kid goes through a big growing spurt, there we go, that was good, let's walk forward. If a kid goes through a big growing spurt, they can be a little awkward. And that's what goes on with these horses. And you would think, well, why don't you just wait for them to finish growing before you start teaching? Well, the problem is they grow until they're 5 or 6 years old. At that point, if I was to start training their muscle memory then I have to basically retrain what was bad habits. At this point, I'm training good habits in by pointing the nose and stepping this way. Doesn't have to be hard, but I'm training those good habits in. If I was to wait until she was totally finished growing, not only would I be training good habits in, I would have to train bad habits out. At 5 years old, they're pretty much going to move how they really want to move. That's like that Palomino that I have that's kind of heavy on her front end and don't really want to move. I did a video on her. Jewel, done a couple videos on her. She's 5 years old and a green horse. Well, I'm up against exactly that with her. I'm teaching her how to move, and I have to untrain how she has been moving and then train in correctly how to move. That's why you see her, there we go, forward. That's why you see her not wanting to maintain her forward, because when I ask her for the correct body position, it just feels really weird and awkward to her. So as Indy goes ahead and levels out, her spin will come right along because her body position will be what it needs to be. She's at the point now where if she had not had this growth spurt, her spin would be really nice. See right there, she stepped behind. That all has to do with balance front to back because her back feet being longer, being taller, and pushing her onto her front end. She knows better. She knows that's not how she's supposed to be, but her body is kind of putting her that way. You don't see very many tall reining horses or tall cow horses because they have so much lag to maintain, to control. It's just extra hard. And they have a hard time, let's go forward. They have a hard time reaching a very high level because of getting those long legs to do what they need to do. Whoa. Ah, she didn't stop. Let's work to stop a minute. So what I'm gonna do, I just said whoa and she didn't stop. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remind her a little bit. Whoa. Pull her head around. Go forward. Bump with spurs. I want to maintain forward because I don't want to encourage an incorrect body position. Now let's go back forward again. Whoa. Bring her head around to the left. This horse is far enough along and knows what I'm asking for. It's not like this is a green horse that's just being taught to stop. She knows how to stop. She's just being lazy about it. Whoa. See, she slowed down, but she didn't come to a stop. Let's make not stopping a little harder. Back down to a walk. Turn around, we'll ask again. Whoa. We're gonna work, make that better. Oops, she walked back forward again. Gonna make that better. That is not acceptable. And go back over here to my wall. Gonna teach her to, remind her to appreciate the word. Just gonna change directions. I'm not gonna say the word because I want her to appreciate the word. The word is a lot easier way to stop than this. One more time. See how she had trouble getting her feet where they needed to be to stop? That's part of her growing and the back end being taller. I expect that to be a little uncoordinated. I'm not gonna fuss at her because of her conformation. But I will fuss at her, whoa, for not giving me effort. She needs to try. So all I want is try. Doesn't have to be perfect, but she needs to try. Whoa. That's better. I used the wall to help me. Now she's going forward again. We can't have that. When we stop, I mean stop. We're gonna stop right now. No stop and then walk forward. I don't have her attention, I can tell. See, her ears are out. She's not listening to me a bit. Go back around to the wall. I'm gonna pull it to the wall a time or two. I'm tapping her with my spurs and she's not flicking that ear back on me. Well, mechanically, that one was pretty good. Mechanically, that one was pretty good. Let's see what you'll give me. Whoa. There we go. Good girl. So this is Indy. I've done quite a few videos of her. You'll see, I'll take her in there and show you some video of her with the saddle off, and you'll see how out of balance she is. Until next time, thank you for watching.